Vermeer rubber tire riding trenchers are quality excavation machines, built tough to deliver high production with low maintenance over their useful life. No matter which Vermeer trencher you use, successful trenching can be accomplished with careful operation. Vermeer has produced this 4-part video to help you get the most out of your rubber tire riding trencher. This program will identify the basic parts of a rubber tire trencher and their functions in the first section. Alert you to basic safety messages in the second section. Present pre-start inspection checkpoints and preventative maintenance procedures in the third section. And show startup and basic trenching procedures in the fourth section. This program will highlight only selected points for these concepts. So please, before you use your Vermeer trencher, refer to the operator's manual for detailed explanations and specifications. The operator manuals for the tractors and their attachments include important information for safe operation. Read these before you begin. This video is for demonstration of selected portions of machine operations. It is not a substitute for a complete and thorough reading and understanding of the operator manuals and their safety instructions. As you view this program, stop and rewind the tape whenever you wish to review the information or consult your operator's manual. Viewing this program more than once and referring to your operator's manual will reinforce what you've learned.
Hello, my name is Marty Meyers of Vermeer Manufacturing, and I'm your guide for this operations video for the Vermeer rubber tire riding trenchers. There are a number of units in the Vermeer rubber tire trencher line, all with different horsepower, options, attachments, and operator control layouts. In this program, we'll stick to the trenching basics common to all of them.
In this first section, let's look at the main parts of a rubber tire trencher and their functions. The units are typically powered by air or water-cooled diesel engines. The engine on hydrostatic machines supplies power to drive pumps that send hydraulic oil under pressure to hydrostatic motors that get the work done. These motors will propel the tractor and power the attachments. Machines that are not hydrostatic use more conventional drive lines using a transmission and clutch. With the Vermeer hydrostatic trenchers, you'll get variable power for the ground drive in forward or reverse. And shifting from forward to reverse can be easily done with a convenient foot pedal. The trencher's hydrostatic system provides variable digging chain speed to respond to changing trenching conditions. The Vermeer rubber tire tractor can also power other attachments. Some models can be set up with a vibratory plow for the laying of cable, a backhoe, and a concrete cutter. The unit's hydraulic oil can also operate the steering, the backfill blade, and other hydraulic cylinders. The unit's backfill blade can have up to 6-way range of motion. It can be lifted and lowered and angled from left to right. Or tilted up and down for efficient side hill backfilling. You'll use the backfill blade to fill in a trench or an excavation pit, or to back drag in order to clean up and restore a job site.
Let's take a brief look at the trencher attachment. The digging chain and boom can be configured a number of ways, depending on the size of trencher and the kind of work you may be doing.
The trencher can be set up with cup cutters or with optional rotary tipped cutters for trenching in very tough or rocky conditions. Or the trencher can be set up with a combination of rotary and cup cutters. The trencher's crummer, either manual or hydraulic, will help give you a smooth trench bottom. The augers will move the trench spoil away from the trench left or right or in both directions depending on the configuration.
This is the end of the section identifying parts of the machine. It's a good place to stop the tape and review the material in the operator's manuals. As part of learning how to operate a trencher, I want you to pay attention to some important messages about safe operation.
Good safety practices are an important part of machine operation. Safety information for the tractor and the trencher are contained in your operator manuals. This safety information, together with your own good judgment, are important for your safety. So take a few minutes to learn about safety now before you begin operating the trencher. Prepare yourself for machine operation by wearing protective equipment, such as a hard hat, protective eyewear, and work shoes. Depending on the job, you may need a respirator to filter dust and hearing protection for prolonged exposure to noise. Machine condition is an important part of safety. Take the time to check the machine over before you begin operation. Correct any problems that may affect your safety. Your Vermeer riding trencher is equipped with a rollover protective structure, but you must wear your seatbelt to be protected in the event of a rollover. So, wear your seatbelt. You must start and operate the machine from the tractor operator's seat. Don't take a chance on being run over or being caught in a rotating digging chain. Never allow anyone other than the operator to ride the machine.
Keep away from the digging chain when it is rotating. A rotating digging chain can cut off an arm, a leg, or even possibly kill.
Trench walls can unexpectedly cave in. Anyone standing too close to the trench may fall into the digging chain. Keep spectators away from the work area and the machine. The crummer assembly or restraint bar must be kept in place and set to its proper length. Be sure to shut off the power to the digging chain before moving the tractor with the trencher boom raised. Before you trench, check for underground utility lines. Call the digger's hotline in your area to locate the exact placement of existing service lines. Contact with electric lines may cause electrocution. Gas line rupture can cause explosion or fire. Do not work in any trench with unstable sides that may cave in. Suffocation may result from a trench wall cave-in. Specific requirements for shoring or sloping trench walls are available from several sources, including state and federal OSHA offices. Never work under an attachment unless it's supported. It can fall unexpectedly. These safety practices are only some of those you must use when operating the Vermeer trencher. Others are contained in your operator manuals.
These messages are important for your safety. Review them in the operator manuals to reinforce what you have seen. Before you start the engine, every single day, you should conduct pre-start inspection and preventative maintenance steps so the trencher will give you a good day's performance. Let's go through a checklist for the tractor and the trencher. More checkpoints and maintenance procedures are contained in your operator manuals. First, let's look at the tractor.
Remove the oil dipstick and check the level. Add oil if needed. Check the air cleaner restriction indicator. If this rectangle is yellow, it's okay. If it's red, the air cleaner is getting dirty and needs to be replaced. A dirty air cleaner will lessen the efficiency of your engine and potentially cause premature damage. Check the hydraulic hoses and fittings for damage or leaks. Look under the unit for any fresh drip marks of hydraulic oil or diesel fuel. Check the hydraulic fluid level. If the hydraulic level is down, you can add fluid at the reservoir, but be careful not to let dirt or other contaminants enter the system.
Grease zerks are on all major wear pivot points. Some need greasing twice a day, some once a day, and others on an interval basis.
Follow the lubrication chart on the tractor or in the operator's manual for the proper amounts and intervals for the tractor's lube points. They include greasing such points as the backhoe boom cylinder, end idler bearings, trencher lift cylinder, blade lift cylinder, and others. Fill the fuel tank. Do it at the end of the day. A full tank can help prevent condensation from forming overnight. Check the tire pressure and inflate them according to their proper specified pressure. Make sure the trencher attachment is ready to use. Check the chain for proper tension. Do not over-tighten. This will cause excessive wear. If it's too slack, its efficiency will be reduced. If you need to adjust the chain tension, follow the adjustment procedure in the manual. Check the end idler bearings for proper adjustment. There should be no side movement. If there is, check the manual for the adjustment procedure. Check the condition of the digging chain drive sprocket for any excess wear that will affect the efficiency of the trencher. Check for wear of the cup cutters or rotary tipped cutters if applicable. Change teeth as necessary. Twice a day during operation, grease the end idler's tapered roller bearings. Each day you should grease the auger bearings and the digger shaft bearings. Follow the manual's direction for the proper amounts of lubrication.
These are some of the pre-start inspection and preventative maintenance procedures you need to follow. If you get in the habit of following these steps, you can extend trencher life and help avoid costly downtime.
There are additional maintenance procedures in your manual that need to be done at different intervals. Watch your hour meters so you don't forget these. They are important to the productivity of the unit.
This is a good time to stop this tape and review these procedures before you go on.
Before starting the engine, sit in the seat and fasten your seatbelt. Make sure the parking brake is set and that the ground drive and attachment controls are in neutral. For hydrostatic trenchers, keep your foot off the ground drive foot pedal when you start the engine. The machine will not start if the foot pedal is pressed. Open up the throttle lever slightly. You don't want to race the engine upon starting. Start the engine.
After you start the engine, check your oil pressure. It should come up right away. If it doesn't, shut down and check for potential problems. For starting in cold weather, follow the additional steps in the tractor operator's manual.
Before loading the unit onto a trailer, check the trailer operator manual and your Vermeer tractor operator manual for loading information. To drive the unit onto a trailer for transport to the job site, raise the attachment and backfill blade. Release the park brake. Use a slow ground speed, and for the hydrostatic machines, use the foot pedal control to slowly load the machine onto the trailer. Please take note of the way this trencher is chained and secured on the transport trailer. Whenever the trencher is transported on a trailer, the parking brake is on. The backhoe boom, if there is one on the unit, is chained to the tractor. The backfill blade is down on the trailer bed. The trencher is lowered to the trailer floor, and the unit is chained down front and rear with chains and load binders. To unload the unit, remove the chains and load binders. Raise the backfill blade. Raise the trencher to the up position. Drive the machine slowly off the trailer.
To drive the unit to where you will be trenching, make sure the tractor ground drive is in transport mode.
On hydrostatic machines, the foot pedal control allows you to go forward, then to reverse without stopping to shift. Before you begin trenching, make sure all spectators or fellow workers are away from the digging chain. The crummer should be in the raised position in order to make your plunge cut. Place your ground drive into trenching mode. Increase your throttle until the engine is at full RPM. Set the digging chain at the mid-range speed for plunge cutting. You may need to adjust the chain speed for different soil conditions. Gradually lower the boom to the desired digging depth. Do not overload the engine. Move the machine forward a few feet. If your machine has the optional hydraulic crummer, lower the crummer into position while you're still trenching. If you have the manual crummer, stop the digging chain, lift the trencher completely out of the ground, shut the machine completely off, and follow the directions in the manual for lowering the crummer. With your crummer in place, start the digging chain again and lower it into the ground. No matter which riding trencher you have, Your objective is to find the right combination of digging chain speed, engine RPM, and ground speed for your digging conditions. You are trying to make optimum trenching progress and productivity without overloading the engine. To find the right trenching productivity, continue trenching forward, increasing your ground speed until the engine starts to pull down. That is, to drop engine RPM. Then back the ground speed off a bit. Although each rubber tire riding trencher will respond somewhat differently because of the horsepower differences, look for a 200 to 300 RPM drop from full RPM. Set your creep speed when you've found the optimum ground speed for your trenching conditions. On hydrostatic machines, you can use the foot pedal when you hit easier or tougher conditions. It will temporarily override the creep speed setting. When you release the foot pedal, the creep speed will return to its preset position. If you hit a tough spot when you're trenching and the engine RPMs slow down, back the foot pedal off to slow the ground speed. If you hit easier conditions for a few feet, pushing on the front of the foot pedal will increase the creep speed of the machine without changing the creep lever setting. To backfill correctly, backfill on both sides of the trench. If you backfill on the right side of the trench, angle the backfill blade to the left side of the vehicle. If you're on the left side of the trench, angle the backfill blade to the right. If possible, start backfilling where you stopped trenching. Backfilling in the opposite direction that you trenched will help completely refill the trench spoil. When you're done backfilling, you can lock the backfill blade lift lever in the full forward position and drag the backfill blade over the filled trench. This final pass allows the backfill blade to float over the restored area, helping to improve the appearance of the job site. Whenever you stop the machine, at the job site or at the end of the day in the equipment yard, use the following shutdown procedure. Make sure your digging chain or any other attachment is off. Place the ground drive into neutral. Set your park brake. Lower all attachments to the ground unless they are mechanically suspended with a transport lock. Shut off the engine and remove the key.
Well, that's it. The trenching basics for the Vermeer rubber tire riding trenchers. Once you get the feel of trenching, you'll come to appreciate how easy these machines are to operate. Before you begin, be sure to review this video and the operator manuals so you don't forget any of the important steps. Thank you for watching.